the HAWE Tech Podcast.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the HAWE Tech Podcast. My name is Ralph and I'm Senior Specialist for Sales Enablement at HAWE. Today's topic is, do you know why there are normally open and normally closed prefill valves? Since I can't give you the answer, I again have invited a colleague of mine, and he is Martin, and he is Key Market Manager at HAWE, who can tell us, hopefully, a little bit about this interesting topic. Hello, Martin.
Yeah, hello, Ralph, and thank you for the invitation. So it's a interesting topic for today, yeah?
Sounds good. Prefill valves, they are large, releasable check valves. What are they used for, Martin?
Yeah, they're mainly used for filling and draining of large cylinders. So, for example, in presses, plastic machines, or press brakes, always when big oil volumes need to be shifted from the tank or reservoir to the cylinder chamber and backwards in a very short time period, then I need to have or I use a prefill valve.
Okay. Now, the prefill valves I'm familiar with, that's the Series F, they go up to about 7,000 liters per minute. My bathtub at home would fill in about 1.5 seconds at this flow rate. Now, the filling valves type NSV are smaller.
Yeah, the NSV series is mainly used in press brakes, and they go only up to 900 liter per minute. So I would need 12 seconds for your bathtub.
Would still be pretty fast. Now, the main difference is today's question. So let's delve into this a little bit more deeply. The NSV series is available in normally open and normally closed. When do you use which valve?
Yeah, firstly, the normal closed version is like the Type F valve. So like a releasable check valve. So when the press cylinder is extending, it opens automatically by the negative pressure in the cylinder chamber and remains closed when the pressure is built up in the cylinder. So during retraction, it is actively open via the pilot line. The difference now between NSV and the F valve is mainly the design. So NSV is available as a cartridge valve and also as a filling valve with a housing. So F is an intermediate flange valve, and therein lies the difference. So intermediate flange version I use when the tank is right up the cylinder, and the NSV type I use when the tank, the reservoir, is next to the cylinder. So I can have a very compact and short filling line for smaller press brakes, for example.
Okay, so we've really come to the core of the question here. How does the normally open valve work, and when do you use it?
Yeah, the normal open prefill valve is held by the spring force open, or spring force opens this valve. So, and it must be closed via the pilot line when a pressure build up in a cylinder needs to be or I want to have. So when I want to close it, this relies on a time delay of roughly 500 milliseconds, and depends always on the size. But however, with the normal open prefill valve, I have the advantage that I have not any pressure buildup in the cylinder chamber of my main cylinder if I do not activate this small piston in my prefill valve. So therefore, the safety functionality I can make much more easier in a press with the NSV type.
Yeah, but the disadvantage, you said 500 milliseconds, so we're talking about half a second here. How does that work out in relation to the press cycle?
Yeah, good question. So a press cycle is typically, depends always on the part, but I want to bend at least, but up to 7 seconds, so roughly could be. So half a second is 10% roughly, and that's has an influence on my productivity of the machine.
Yeah, of course. So let me make sure I understood you correctly here. I'm going to summarize a little bit. So normally closed valves are faster. Normally open valves offer a simple implementation of an additional safety function, which of course is important. And the F series, as an example, the large HAWE filling valves, they fall under normally closed. Is that correct?
Yeah, perfect. You got it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for this enlightening discussion here. Hopefully our audience learned something new today too. I certainly did, especially when my bathtub is concerned. So thank you very much for listening and watching today. If you have any suggestions for future HAWE podcasts, send us an email to podcast@hawe.de. And until next time, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph. Thank you for listening, and listen to the next HAWE Tech Podcast.
Goodbye.